The Kelce-Swift universe is doing the absolute most. First up, Travis Kelce is caught walking off the field after a brutal Chiefs fumble in an ugly loss to the Raiders, and the vibes are painfully dramatic. Then, actor Josh Charles spills why he jokingly called Kelce the D word on Taylor Swift's Fortnight music video set, because apparently even pop sets have AFC North beef.
I've always liked Travis Kelce. I just thought he was so cool. But that year that they beat us in the AFC Championship game, they beat the Ravens, he was a real jerk that year. And so, I kind of fell off of him. So when I met him, I said, I always liked you. And this year you were kind of a D-I-C-K. Can I say that?
Next, retirement rumors heat up with a career update that has TV networks circling. After that, Thanksgiving plans get flipped thanks to a Texas road game. And finally, insiders say Taylor's security is on high alert ahead of their wedding. Kansas City just wrapped up their season like a group project done at 3 a.m. Messy, confusing, and somehow still disappointing. Sunday's Week 18 finale against the Raiders was the grand closing act of what insiders are already calling the Chiefs' personal horror movie, ending in a brutal 14-12 loss that felt like it was engineered specifically to ruin everyone's mood. That makes it 6 straight L's to finish the year, which is the kind of streak you usually see from teams that are actively trying to win the number 1 pick. Not a franchise that's been living in the Patrick Mahomes era like it's their own private highlight reel. And yet, in the middle of all that chaos, Travis Kelce still managed to quietly collect a legendary milestone. The man became only the 3rd tight end ever to hit 13,000 career receiving yards, and did it faster than anyone else at his position. The problem? It came in the most cool story bro way possible. 3 catches for 12 yards, like someone hit the minimum effort slider and broke it. So yeah, the history books will remember it, but the vibes were tragic. Kelce's body language basically narrated the whole game for anyone who missed it. He looked fed up as the Chiefs' offense repeatedly face-planted and couldn't find any rhythm. Then came the moment that had fans yelling at their TVs like it was a reality show elimination. Late in the first half, 3rd and short, quarterback Chris Oladokun tried to scramble for the first down and ended up fumbling near the Chiefs' 20-yard line. While other players hovered around the ref trying to plead their case, Kelce was spotted almost instantly walking away from the mess and off the field, head down, like a man who just realized the group chat was never serious. Sure, there wasn't much he could do. The ball was out, the damage was done, but it's still not exactly the poster moment you want when the team is spiraling and everybody's looking for leadership. And while that whole walking off like he left the group chat energy had everyone side-eyeing, it turns out Travis Kelce has also been catching strays in a completely different arena, the Taylor Swift cinematic universe. Josh Charles, yes, that Josh Charles from Dead Poets Society and The Good Wife, recently explained how he ended up playfully calling Kelce a not-so-sweet name on the set of Taylor Swift's Fortnight music video. And honestly, the fact that this all happened on a music video set makes it 10 times funnier, because imagine showing up to do artsy, dramatic Swift content, and suddenly you're doing football therapy sessions with a tight end.
That you got in a fight with Travis Kelce on set.
Yeah, a fight. No, he exaggerated this. I saw the interview you're talking about. No, it wasn't a fight. It was just...
Josh is a loud and proud Baltimore Ravens fan, which basically means his blood type is AFC North petty. And so when he met Kelce on set, Josh apparently decided this was the perfect time to bring up some old emotional damage. That year, the Chiefs beat the Ravens in the AFC Championship game, and Kelce was acting like he owned the whole stadium. Josh, being Josh, didn't just let it slide. He told Kelce that he'd always liked him, but that particular year, Kelce was acting like a full-time menace. Like not, he's competitive menace, more like, sir, please stop taunting my entire city menace.
I've always liked Travis Kelce. I just thought he was so cool. But that year that they beat us in the AFC Championship game, they beat the Ravens, he was a real jerk that year. And so, I kind of fell off of him. So when I met him, I said, I always liked you. And this year you were kind of a D-I-C-K. Can I say that?
Now here's the best part. Kelce didn't get defensive, didn't clap back, didn't launch into a TED Talk about leadership. He basically laughed, admitted Josh had a point, and explained that the Ravens matchup was serious business for the Chiefs. Apparently, Kelce felt like he needed to roll in with extra swagger, stir the pot, get in people's heads, and he absolutely succeeded, because he even baited one of the Ravens veterans into a personal foul. Tactical chaos. Kelce really said, I'm not just here to win, I'm here to emotionally inconvenience you.
He laughed. He was like, you know what, you're right. He goes, I'm going to tell you why, because we marked down that game against your team as if we could win that game, we were most worried about that game, then I knew. So he's like, I had to come in with some swagger.
And despite the Ravens fan roast session, Josh walked away liking Kelce even more, calling him a genuinely good dude. And now the next big question is whether that genuinely good dude is about to swap shoulder pads for a suit and a microphone. Because with the Chiefs finishing a rough 6-11 and missing the postseason for the first time in a decade, Kelce's future suddenly feels like the NFL's hottest group chat topic. The man turned 36 this season, and sources say the retirement whispers are basically echoing through every hallway, locker room, and sports show intro like it's a dramatic telenovela. And here's the thing, it's not like Kelce has anything left to prove. By now, his resume is basically a hardcover book, and the greatest tight ends ever conversation needs to reserve a seat for him at the table with a name tag and a fancy little appetizer. With unrestricted free agency looming, the speculation is only getting louder, but people close to the situation also expect him to take his time. No rushing, no panic, no dramatic I'm done Instagram post with a black and white filter. Football is still very much the main character right now, but apparently the sequel is already being brainstormed behind the scenes. And if you're wondering what that sequel looks like, one very obvious destination, TV. Insiders say there's real belief he could step straight into broadcasting like he owns the place, the same way other superstar retirees have strolled into the booth and started breaking down coverages like it's casual small talk. One well-connected voice in the media world has suggested Kelce could be built for the color commentator life, not the sit quietly and nod role, but the big-time number one chair role. Like he's not showing up for the side quest, he wants the main storyline. And if that happens, the money could be wild. We're talking 8 figures, the kind of paycheck that makes you reevaluate every life choice you've ever made while sipping instant coffee. It also helps that Kelce already has media reps. The New Heights podcast he runs with his brother Jason is basically a weekly festival of football brains and brother energy, and it's turned into an absolute monster hit. He's also been popping up in TV projects here and there, including a recent appearance in Netflix's Happy Gilmore 2, because apparently he's collecting side quests like Pokemon cards.
Watching my 6 all day, every day.
I just wanted to help. I offer bread.
You mess around, you find out. You're fired.
And with Jason already making the post-retirement leap to ESPN and becoming a regular on Monday Night Countdown, Travis has the same on-camera ease, the same sharp football mind, and possibly even more chaos-friendly charisma, which is exactly what TV networks secretly love. And with TV networks basically lining up like it's Black Friday for Kelce's post-football era, the universe also reminded everyone that even when you're an NFL superstar dating the biggest pop icon on the planet, your calendar is still run by the schedule makers. Because yeah, Thanksgiving already happened 2 months ago, and insiders are still talking about how Travis Kelce's holiday plans got absolutely bulldozed by the NFL. So here's what went down. The Chiefs had an away game in Texas on Thanksgiving, which meant while most people were posted up on couches in stretchy pants, Travis was traveling like a very tall, very famous Thanksgiving turkey. Sources say the original vibe for Thanksgiving 2025 was supposed to be calm and wholesome. Taylor and Kelce splitting time between their families, keeping it super low-key, and avoiding major travel. Basically family, food, and not a single airport meltdown. Travis fit in perfectly with Taylor's family, and Taylor was super close with his mom Donna, like the kind of close where they're basically texting more than you text your best friend. Cute, right? But then the NFL did what it does best, ruin a perfectly good plan with a kickoff time. The Chiefs had to play the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, and suddenly everyone was asking the same messy question, did Taylor travel with Travis or not? And sources stayed vague because of course they did. What insiders did say was that Taylor typically keeps it to home games for safety reasons, which makes sense, because her showing up at an away stadium is basically like dropping a surprise album mid-game, immediate chaos. And now sources are saying the safety stress is only getting louder as Taylor and Travis reportedly prep to tie the knot this year. Apparently it's not just wedding planners losing sleep anymore. Taylor's security team is practically living on espresso shots and paranoia because the wedding has allegedly pulled in some extra unwanted attention. Taylor's been dealing with security threats over the last few months, but the future Mrs. Kelce storyline has kicked things up a level, and not in a cute Pinterest way, more like in a everybody stay alert, nobody blink way. Her team is worried that the sheer value of what she wears, especially jewelry, could tempt people who actually plan this stuff like a military operation. Not some random person swiping a souvenir, we're talking professionals, allegedly, the type who take notes, map routines, and treat celebrity schedules like a public Google Calendar. And weddings? Weddings are basically the Super Bowl for thieves. Sources paint the picture like this. High-profile guests, expensive gifts flying around, staff coming and going, everyone distracted, and Taylor dripping in jewelry worth more than most people's homes. Basically a chaotic buffet for anyone looking to pull off a heist. The biggest fear is that without strict, airtight protocols, the whole thing could turn into a chaos-waiting-to-happen situation, which sounds less like a romantic ceremony and more like an Ocean's 11 audition. The wild part is, it's not even about Taylor being careless. It's that her life is so public that criminals allegedly don't even need to guess where she'll be. Her movements are charted and tracked by the internet like it's a competitive sport. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.